Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Cav, and I am Michael, the founder-owner and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL iBT. I'm going to listen to one of your integrated speaking practice tests right now.
The passage explains the necessity of education, and the speaker
You want to say the necessity. Put stress necessity, so stress is on that second syllable.
illustrates the education used with 2 examples.
When you say the word to, you got to pronounce the T not as a D, but with two examples.
Firstly, the man thinks that education gives depth academic subject knowledge.
Gives academic subject knowledge, so there's stress on the third syllable, academic.
Like geography. While attending,
Like, I think you're saying geography?
like geography.
Okay.
While attending schools, students can learn how mountains are formed and decide our earth is protected from the neglected future generations. Another example, the man says that schools offer
Okay, let's take a look at your word choice there.
neglected future generations. Another example, the man says
You
that
might want to say, in another example, the man says, so you didn't clearly pronounce
schools
that.
offer students to learn small business administration. He also says that his Taiwan friend
Now, I like how you're using the simple present to explain the information. That is a good choice.
majored in MBA, and he starts to work his father's company for business development
Okay.
because he learned skills in school. Finally, he thinks that education gives more skills for
Okay, not bad. So let's take a look at this one. So let me go ahead and click on the links here so I can give you an accurate score. So let's go to okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to listen to all the practice tests that you sent this week, by the way. So I want to sit down, get some popcorn. Okay, so for integrated speaking, yeah, on this one, okay, let me click on the link one more time. I just lost my connection to the computer for some reason. Don't know why. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I think overall in this one, so you're having some minor delivery issues. This time it looks like word stress. You want to make sure you're stressing the correct syllable of the word. It makes it easier to understand. Also, be careful about your T and your D consonant sounds. You have pretty good control of your grammar and your vocabulary. Not too bad on the topic development area, so you had a fairly good organization and presentation of your ideas. So I'm going to put you, because of some delivery issues, about 2.5 out of 4 or 19 points out of 30 on this practice test. Okay, I've probably already sent this to my TA, but I'm going to send him a message to score your independent writing essay 20 and also your integrated essay number 3. And then let's go to the next response. Okay, this is from Monday. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and download. It looks like this is a maybe integrated speaking task. Okay, here we go.
The reading passage states, the personal experience knowledge is important while learning classroom knowledge. The students illustrate the view of gaining knowledge. The man in the conversation thinks that classroom. The reading passage states the personal experience knowledge is important while learning classroom knowledge.
Okay, so you're stating the main point of the reading and the listening passage.
The students illustrate the view of gaining knowledge.
They illustrate, you're having a little bit of language use issues there.
The view of gaining knowledge. The students illustrate the view of gaining knowledge.
So the students illustrate maybe the importance of gaining authentic knowledge or personal experience knowledge, you might say.
The man in the conversation thinks that classroom instruction and the personal experience knowledge are similar.
Okay.
For example, as per the male student, a computer programmer learns basic skills in a classroom. Then he practices more programs in a personal computer.
He practices these programs maybe on his personal computer. So on his personal computer, you need to pronounce that P with more air, personal.
That way, a computer programmer could get knowledge through the classroom and the personal experience.
So that the computer programmer can give knowledge to the students based on some of the personal experience he or she learns.
In other hands, the female student disagrees the man's opinion.
Disagrees with the man's opinion. Put that with in there.
She says that classroom instruction is a formal way of learning and the personal experience knowledge comes naturally.
Okay. So let's take a look here. So I'm looking at the rubrics here. So some language use and maybe some delivery issues in this one. So I'm going to put you at about 2.3 out of 4, 18 points out of 30 on this practice test. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and forward this message over to Luis. I'm going to tell him to score if he hasn't done it already. So you need to do the independent essay number 22. Let me send him a quick message. Okay, I'm sending that message to him. Okay, let's go back to my email. I think you sent me another message. Here we go. Okay, here we go. So this is, it looks like integrated speaking number 11. So I'm going to download this one. Okay, here we go.
The problem in the conversation is how teachers teach more.
Let's try that. Conversation, the conversation.
More enjoyable to students. The man says that if teachers start interactively, students would learn easily. For example, a topic that is basics of addition. If teachers teach this by asking students daily. For example, a topic that is
not the topic, but the topic of. So again, with the T, you want to make that a different sound from the D. So try these two words here. Tip, dip. Again, tip, dip. So they are slightly different sounds.
If teachers teach this by asking students to pick out.
If they teach this way by asking students, don't forget to put the word by in there.
Things like pencils or others, that number should equal to the solution of the problem.
Okay.
The woman liked this idea and
the woman likes this idea.
She thinks that teachers can't get bored when teachers involved through the activities and role plays.
How about the teachers will not be bored if they get involved in active role plays, maybe instead of
She also says it will help to teachers more concentrate longer time in the class. In addition, the man says that for enjoyment in role plays. She also says it will help to teachers more concentrate longer time in the class.
It will help teachers to help students concentrate for longer periods of time in class. That's probably how I would say that. So you're having some language use issues there.
In addition, the man says that for enjoyable learning, he thinks when students be friendly with their teachers, they listen
When students are friendly with their teachers, not be friendly.
more carefully what teacher is saying like their friends. At the same time, the woman gives an example that students want to go if a doctor gives a sweet syrup.
Okay. All right.
So that students can enjoy the class when teachers create an interest in the.
You got it. All right, let's take a look here. So this one, you have some delivery, some language use issues on this response. So you understand what you're listening to, right? So I don't have any question there. So you understand more or less how to explain the information, but some of those delivery and language use issues are kind of getting in the way, making it difficult. So I'm going to put you at about 2.5 out of 4, 19 points out of 30 on this practice test. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and send this message over to my teaching assistant. I'm going to tell him to score your writing. Which one is it here? So, okay, I'm going to tell him to score the independent essay number 24. Okay, let's go back to the emails for just a minute. Okay, hold on a second.
Hey, Professor.
Come on in. Yeah, give me a second. I'm just talking to somebody.
Yeah, actually, I've been out there for a few minutes.
Yeah, come on, just have it there. We're right there. Okay, so you've got one more email I need to go through here. Let me see. So, okay, let's take a look at this one. Okay, so you have independent writing essay number 25, so we'll take a look at that one. I'm going to go ahead and download this. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, this is, I think, an integrated speaking practice test.
The lecture talks about the glacier. The lecture talks about.
Okay, there, again, that T, it's a T, not the lecture talks, but the lecture talks. So you're not putting enough aspiration with that particular sound. You're kind of, it almost sounds like a D sound. So that's, I think, mainly because of the differences in the sounds in the two languages, your language versus English. So be careful about the T versus a D consonant sound.
Glacier formation. Glaciers can form in the polar regions.
Okay.
Because of hot summer melts the snow. According to the professor, remaining snow in the same area accumulates into as ice. Year by year, one layer of snow compresses the previous layers. It is recrystallized to form grains as an equal size and shape of the sugar. These grains can grow longer and air packets between the grains.
You want to see there, not packets, but pockets. Air pockets between the grains become smaller.
Slowly compact and increase density.
Again, the word compact. Again, the P, a bilabial consonant. You need to pronounce that with a lot more air. Compact. Compact.
After 2 winters,
It's not after two winters.
it will turn into the intermediate.
Again, turn to. So you got to work on that. That one sound, I think, if you can master, maybe not immediately, but this is a goal that you can think about in the next week or so, maybe the next month. If you can do a little bit better on that T consonant sound, I think it would be easier for native speakers to understand what you're saying.
State between snow and glacier ice. Finally, ice crystals become lengthy and heavy. This process takes over 100 years.
Okay. So I think overall you have an understanding of the lecture. You're able to explain it. Now, one thing that you can do to organize things a little bit better, consider using transition words to show how the different ideas are related. Because this lecture is talking about the steps in a process, in this case glacier formation, you could use things like first, second, third, fourth, and then you can discuss the different steps which occur in the process of glacier formation. That might make it a little easier for your audience to understand your ideas. Now, keep working in the pronunciation area of my course. Obviously, you want to work in there. And in addition to working on that T and that D consonant sound, you can also work on what's called your tone, your intonation. So you have the tendency to speak in more of a monotone, so it's hard for me to determine what's most or least important in your ideas because you're kind of putting equal emphasis on everything. But that's not typically what we do when we're speaking English naturally. So if you go to my intonation videos, lessons 36 through 40, you can get some tips on how you can make some improvements in those areas.